Hold up, let's get real. Welcome to Real Talk with Ronnie. Today we have Alex Toccin, founder of Toccin. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on social at Ronnie Calra.
Thank you so much for having me today,
I was going to say, welcome, Alex.
Thank you.
Obviously, we are both wearing Toccin. We're going to get into that in a little bit. But that is how I came across you on Instagram and social media. You are a stylist. You are a fashion icon. I love that she is short and petite, just like me, because I follow so many other fashion icons that do not look like me. So I love what they wear, but it just wouldn't look the same on me. And so you're somebody that I find is always put together.
Thank you.
And I'm so happy for you guys that you came out with this company and you started making clothing, because clearly I am a fan.
And you look fabulous in it.
Thank you. But I want to start with some personal stuff.
Absolutely. Let's get rolling.
Okay. So I know that Toccin is a collaboration between you and your husband, Michael.
Mm-hmm.
Michael couldn't make it today, but we're thinking of him.
Always thinking of Michael.
And so I want to know, like, how did you and Michael meet, first of all?
So we actually met the first day of college. We met 18 years ago, so do the math. And we met at orientation at George Washington University in DC.
Amazing.
We met in June, and by September we were dating. We were next door neighbors in our college dorm.
Oh my gosh.
So we were meant to be, and we've been together ever since.
Never a break.
Never a break.
Come on, you can tell me.
Maybe 2 days, but that was it.
2 days where you were like, I hate you. And then you got back together?
Exactly.
Okay.
We went abroad together. We moved to New York together. We were both originally from Florida.
Wow.
But we moved to New York right after school. We both went to Parsons. We both have lived here for over 12 years. We've been married for 9 years.
Amazing.
And we have a little baby girl who just turned 2.
So that's the other reason she was welcome to Real Talk with Ronnie, because she's a mother. And you know how much I love working moms.
Just
and
I
love to learn about how you guys do it so that maybe I could learn how to do it better.
Oh my God, you're doing such a good job. We keep learning every day, right?
Seriously, but I guess we can fast forward, because I've been following along on your Instagram, and Liv, her daughter, who's so cute, bright blue eyes, who looks honestly exactly like you. Sorry, Michael, but she looks exactly.
She does have Michael's eyes, though.
Okay, fine.
The eye coloring, but she has my eye shape.
Okay, she does. She's a mini you, though, with her hair. She's so cute. She's going through some terrible twos.
Yes. Actually, she turned 2 on the 26th
Happy
of
birthday,
January.
Liv.
Thank you. And really, literally a week after has been going through terrible twos.
Ugh.
I don't know if it's just we had a lot of family in from Florida. We're going through a little transition we got a new weekend nanny. She threw up all over her room. Also, a little too much information, but
This is Real Talk with Ronnie.
Real
We
talk.
want to hear everything.
But we had to take down, we have this beautiful canopy in her room. So since she was a baby, she's had this canopy over her crib, and we had to take it down because she threw up all over it.
Ooh.
So I think she's going through a lot of change, and also I think she's just growing up.
Yeah.
You know, and starting to, I mean, obviously they understand everything from the beginning, but really having a personality and really wanting to talk and
communication is so much better.
Yeah. So, you know, I just feel like since she turned 2, it's been a little bit of a challenge. She hasn't been sleeping great. She was so good, had such a good strict schedule, and just since then it's kind of gone out the window. But last night she did sleep through the night again. Thank God.
I started Real Talk with Ronnie actually on Instagram just as like a funny thing, and I just kept hashtagging Real Talk with Ronnie because I was complaining about how my daughter was never a good sleeper. And my lack of sleep for me has been like
the hardest thing.
Yeah, my biggest sort of adjustment to becoming a mother. Obviously, like I have a new person in my life, and breastfeeding was a whole different story.
Oh my God, it's a whole other movie.
Yeah, but not being able to sleep consistently has like literally shaken me to the core, and I find like I'm more irritable, I'm less productive, I'm so tired all the time. Working out was such a struggle, and I love to work out. So it was like I really, really, really needed her to sleep for my sanity.
Absolutely. Let's be real. Being a mom, I think, is the toughest job out there.
100%.
It is so hard.
100%.
You know, I just feel like they're constantly evolving.
Yeah.
You constantly have to figure out different ways to communicate with them.
Absolutely.
And to get them to stick to a schedule. And obviously there's just that part of you that just wants, you know, when they're crying, you just want to feel that cry too and just cry yourself.
Right.
But it's also, you have to be that parent too.
Let them cry.
I know.
After 2 years, I feel like my first year of being a mom, I was so sad and I couldn't hear her cry and it would just like break me inside.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, girl, cry it out. I'll give you 10 minutes. And she's like asleep.
Yeah.
So
no, we have to be tough because we're tough, you know.
You grow a thick skin.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I want to go back to Michael.
Of course.
I remember seeing something, but I don't remember the story. How did he propose to you?
So obviously we are lovers of fashion. We've loved fashion since we met. Michael has been a huge inspiration on my life. So naturally, he proposed in Neiman Marcus. Naturally, which couldn't have been any better and more special. Also, I'm from Orlando, so he really reenacted a modern day Cinderella story. At the time, because remember, this is 9 years ago. Actually, it was 11 years ago that he proposed. Louboutins had just come out with the amazing sequin sparkly shoe.
Amazing.
So we had been shopping in New York, and I had my eye on one of them, and I remember we were in the boutique uptown in October, and I had told Michael I liked it, and he always listens to what I say, what I like, because when I really like something, he knows that I want it. So he had planned this entire surprise over Thanksgiving. He sent me an invitation in the mail to go to a trunk show for Louboutin at Neiman Marcus.
And you didn't know
made this whole thing up.
Wow.
Yeah, made this whole thing up, which I was excited because obviously over Thanksgiving, it's when our families are all together, and this was like an activity that we could go do together.
Right.
And we had something
Escape.
fun. Exactly. Something fun for us to do outside of the house.
Mm-hmm.
So we went there, and little did I know that he had planned to have the entire thing photographed on their cameras.
Oh my gosh.
And typically when Michael and I go shopping, we don't do shoes first. We go and do clothes first, and then we work our way down to shoes.
Sure.
But obviously that day was a little different. I had no idea. So he had plans with a personal shopper there in Orlando to have these shoes that I was eyeing. But little did I know, on the bottom of the shoe, he had a caricature that said, "Marry me."
So
and had like
cute.
a bride and groom on the bottom of them. I always love, wherever we go, whenever we travel, we call it to have like a party favor so that I remember the trip or what we're doing. So these shoes were technically my party favor. So basically he had them bring out the shoe. I went to try it on, and he's like, "I'll go look in the mirror and see how they look." And basically they pulled the cushion out from the mirror, and on the mirror it said, "Will you marry me?" And I turned around, and he was down on his knee, and I had the shoes on, and he proposed, and the entire thing was being filmed, and everyone in the shoe department knew about it except for me. And then little did I know, our family was there, so they came down because the clothes were upstairs, and they were in like a private room upstairs, and they came downstairs and surprised us. And
what a great venue.
It was
a department store.
A department store. And what is so amazing, what is like totally full circle, which is probably what you recently saw over Thanksgiving, because we reenacted the entire thing on Instagram, but that our collection, Toccin, is in Neiman Marcus.
Amazing.
So it's just so amazing that like the place where, you know, we secured that we're gonna, you know, get married is also the place where our clothing is now. That's
amazing.
Yeah.
And I have to say, my husband hates shopping. He tells me he's allergic to department stores.
I don't think Michael will ever say that to me.
So that is to me like so unknown, because my husband is just like, "I'm allergic to department stores. Like, I will wait outside for you. I will hold all your things, but like, please don't make me do this." Right. So I think that's so amazing. However, it just speaks to who Michael is as a person, because fashion is in his blood and in his bones, and he enjoys it.
He loves it, and he has the most amount of patience, because obviously I tell him I should go shopping with you, and I'm literally sitting there either playing with Liv or doing a million other things.
Right.
And he's been sitting in the store for me for like 3 hours.
Right.
And with him, I'm like, okay, let's get going. You know? So he is so patient. He's so patient with women. And obviously he loves what he does and has always loved fashion.
So what did you guys major in at Parsons?
So they have a basically a master's program, but it's called an Associate in Applied Science degree. So when we both went to GW, I majored in marketing and Michael majored in criminal justice, and realized after school that he wanted nothing to do with being a lawyer, that he had this passion for fashion. And so we both went to this program where I focused on fashion marketing and he focused on fashion design and marketing.
Great.
So, I mean, it was an amazing program. Like, I always tell people, if you're interested in fashion, like, you should definitely go take it. And especially if you don't have any history and working in the fashion industry, this is a great place and a great way to really get into the industry even more.
It's interesting that you say that, because a lot of my guests have told me that they've gone to school for one thing, and when I'm talking to them about their new profession or being leaders or influencers in whatever they do, it's completely different from what they studied. So if you're in college, keep that in mind.
Absolutely. I think also, I mean, we're in a world now where everyone is coming out and being entrepreneurs.
Right.
So, you know, it's a fast world. Things are evolving and changing, especially with technology. So I think you might go to school thinking you want to do one thing, and then, you know, as you're in school over those 4 years, the time has changed, you know, even with Instagram and everything that's out there, that, you know, specializing more in social media was something that we didn't have back when we were in school. You know, now you can do it in school as well.
Right. So great segue, Alex.
Great.
Speaking of social media and technology, that's actually how I was introduced to you and your husband and your brand. But before your brand, I had followed you, and your Instagram handle was stylist to a T.
Yes.
And so that's how I knew of you, and then it recently changed. So talk to me about the beginning of Stylist to a T.
Absolutely.
How you grew your followers, and, you know, how that kind of organically happened for you, because I'm finding that now social media is the way of the world, obviously, and it's the way that you market who you are as a brand, regardless of what you're selling, right? So some people are selling themselves, and they're selling themselves as influencers, but you guys have always been, I think, pretty authentic, because you've always been fashion driven, you know, and yes, of course you share your life with your daughter because it's part of your life, but your page is really about your day to day as founders of this business or as stylists. And so it organically evolved. And I think it was nice for your followers to see that your company came from Stylist to a T.
Right. And it's been so exciting to watch it evolve. So after Michael and I both went to Parsons, we both spent a lot of time in the fashion industry. So we both spent over a decade working in fashion, and we both have worked as celebrity stylists in PR and marketing and merchandising and retail. So we really got our hands in every asset of the business. And about 3.5 years ago, when blogging just, you know, became a thing, obviously it was a thing prior to that, but really, you know, the whole world kind of exploded with, you know, being bloggers and a way of really getting this advice through social media. We started Stylist to a T. We were constantly having our friends and family ask us questions. What do I wear? What should I wear with this? And so we decided, you know what, it's a perfect place to really test our voice. It's an inexpensive way without having to build an actual website.
Right.
So we started Stylist to a T as a destination for women to tell them what to wear, how to wear it, and where to buy it. And like you mentioned, it really started off as this platform that was strictly focused on fashion. We wanted to differentiate ourselves in two ways. One, that we're a married couple and we both love fashion and have this fashion experience. And two, that we're this destination to be strictly on fashion. Obviously, you know, there are a lot of bloggers who dip into lifestyle and beauty, but fashion was our specialty, and that's really where we started. So initially we broke down the trends of the season. We showed women how they could wear it to work, how they could wear it as a mom, how they could wear it actively. And like you said, it's definitely evolved. The world and the landscape has changed. And then obviously our goals have evolved. So between different partnerships and stylists, we really evolved Stylist to a T to become this platform. It's really become a community, as you said, that we show our lifestyle, but in a fashionable way. And we show it as a husband and wife duo and show you kind of our reality TV show as to what we're doing every day. We wake up with you with our blinds, and we go to sleep with you at night showing you where we're eating or what we're finishing off our favorite indulgence with.
Right. Usually a cocktail.
Usually a cocktail, and Michael loves sweets. And like you said, we've added in our daughter, showing how we dress her, what we do with her, you know, as this entrepreneurial family, and how we get through our day.
Right.
And then about 6 months ago, we announced to the world, although we worked on, our
Sure.
line obviously a year ago, but 6 months ago, we announced to the world that we're coming out with our own collection, which has been so rewarding and so exciting. We really felt like through our experience, both in the fashion industry and working with our virtual community. So, with Stylist to a T, we became these virtual stylists. And we found that there's an opportunity in the marketplace to create this dress line for women that really can take them from meetings to evenings and everything in between. And we've been able to connect with so many different types of women,
including
like the two
me.
of us, yes, working moms, to women who are stay-at-home moms, to entrepreneurs, to boss babes. I mean, absolutely everyone. And it's been really exciting to watch it grow. And as I mentioned, we're in Neiman Marcus, we're on Rent the Runway, and we have our own direct-to-consumer. We're in a handful of different specialty stores across the country. And we're obviously growing and have a lot of other projects up our sleeve as well.
Sure.
And just to touch on our Instagram handle, so we've always been Stylist to a T. Our
Right.
website is still Stylist to a T. We feature wonderful, inspiring people like yourselves on this site, as well as still talk about our trends. But as we were coming closer to launching Toccin, we just felt like people needed to know who our last name was.
Yeah.
And obviously, as our blog has evolved, we really wanted to connect more and change our name to Alex and Michael Toccin. But as you'll see, as you continue to follow us, everything is to a T. It's exactly who our personality is. It's exactly everything we do. And that's really, we always have Stylist to a T in our roots and everything that we show on our platform.
Yeah, because I feel like it doesn't necessarily have to stay the same because you've evolved. You've evolved as people, you've evolved as a family, you've evolved as a business.
Exactly.
And I have to say, I get so many compliments on my dresses. I wore 2 of your dresses in 3 different ways because I also have the coat.
Which is what we love. Yes, I forgot
Versatile.
to add in. We love that it's versatile. So we did create this dress collection, but obviously we are aware, that women want a coat option. So we also incorporated 2 coats, a coat and a jacket, a short one and a long one. And they're just great options that you could wear back to the dresses. You could wear alone with jeans. You could wear them so many different ways. And that's what we'd love to hear.
And so I created all these outfits with what I got from Toccin, and I wore them to a bunch of photo shoots that I did recently.
Amazing.
And even I had a pitch yesterday and I was wearing one and a man complimented me.
Wow.
And not a man in fashion, a man in finance. He was like, "Oh, I really like that dress." And I was like, "Thank you."
We love to hear that.
So one of the things that I always say is you feel put together. And so I'm a big person that if I look good, I feel good, which is why I like to get dressed and look professional every day. And putting heels on is a part of my...
same exact vibe.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. The second I get home, these clothes come off. Literally walk in the door, the clothes are off, and then I'm in pajamas or sweats and I'm playing with my daughter.
Of course.
But when I'm at work and I'm out and I'm meeting people, I need to look good in order to feel my best.
That's exactly why we created these dresses. And that's the message we want. Women to feel obviously put together, but also comfortable, confident, and stylish in whatever they wear.
Love it.
Love it.
I'm a huge fan. So one of the things I like to do with all of my guests is let's get real.
Totally.
And I want to ask you, what is it like, Alex? And I want you to really be honest with me, working with your husband, because that basically means that you guys are always together.
24/7.
24/7. And I have to say, I love my husband. We've been together 10 years, married for 3. We have a baby. We're, knock on wood, pretty good, very happy. However, I miss him at the end of every day. So coming home to him is exciting for me because then sometimes we don't talk about work because we're too much has happened. Let's just have dinner and relax and be a family. But the weekends I treasure so much because we haven't spent that much time together during the week other than one meal a day. We're racing out the door in the morning, we're getting ready for work and it's just it's a marathon. And so
Absolutely.
You don't have that. You're with him all the time. And according to social media, you guys are happy as clams. So tell me about that. I mean, are there days that you guys want to rip each other's heads off? Because I really want to know.
Well, first and foremost, to totally get real, I feel so lucky that I get to work with him every day. I mean, we've been together for 18 years, so we've really grown up together.
Totally.
We've gone through life together, and I feel so fortunate that I get to wake up next to him every morning and go to sleep, beside him every night, and run this roller coaster of life together. At
least your life isn't like boring. You guys have so much going on.
We have a lot
that
going
you probably don't have time to think about the things that annoy you.
No, I mean, so many people ask me like, what do you watch on TV? I'm like, I don't have time to watch TV. I need to like sit and watch some shows. But, to be honest with you, working together, I mean, sometimes I do feel bad for our team, but they're like our family. But really, I think what makes Michael and I work together is I am so type A and he is so type B. So, obviously with our growing company and the growing opportunities that we have on the line, we both manage things in a different way. And I think we've really learned how to work together over the past year that we have been together. So, he manages much more of the creative, the sales, the day-to-day logistics of production. His hands are really in everything to do with Toccin, whereas I handle more of not the boring stuff, but the financials, and then the really fun stuff, the marketing.
Sure.
So obviously I have my hands more in the Alex and Michael Toccin, those everyday things, running around with my amazing marketing manager, Lindsay, going to different showrooms and things like that.
Sure. So you split the responsibilities. You're not doing the same thing every day.
Yeah, no. And I mean, most recently, which has been wonderful for our team, is we brought on an amazing CEO. So she really is side by side with Michael, and they manage more of the bigger logistics, whereas I'm able to really have my hands in more of the stuff that I really want to do.
Great.
So it's been great, and obviously again, he's my husband, so I want him to take ownership of a lot of the things, and not, us women are strong women.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes that's hard for him, but I think it's wonderful. Our team's able to give constructive criticism. Obviously I'm the model of a lot of the pieces that we're designing, so he's able to see the clothes. We have a strong group of women who work behind the two of us, and also some men too. So, I think we balance each other. And like you said, at the end of the day, I think we are exhausted about talking about work, but sometimes I think the challenge is it's hard to turn it off. So we really try to, like you do, value our weekends and really value our family time and look forward to the family time that we have together on Saturdays and Sundays, and make sure that that time is about Liv. And if there is something pressing for work, maybe wait to talk about it until Sunday night, and really have
It's hard to turn it off.
So hard.
Our jobs are 24/7. Even when I'm on vacation, I'm available. Because what am I going to say to my client? Don't call me?
I know.
They're going to fire me.
I know.
I can't afford to do that.
Yeah.
So
no, I feel like it's hard. You always have to be on.
Always.
And I think just what has taught me, obviously with Instagram and the world, people want the raw and everyday. Obviously, Real Talk with Ronnie. So, I think that you have to recognize that you don't need to be so perfectly on anymore.
Yeah.
You can be real.
I think people prefer it, to be honest. Because when you watch someone and they're always the same, and it's just not realistic. I mean, nobody wakes up the same every day. Like, shit happens.
I agree.
There are tragedies in life that we face, So what do you guys disagree on? Like, are there parenting techniques that you disagree on? Are there conversations?
Parenting, we are so in line.
Good.
I think just creatively. I'm not a creative thinker, but obviously I have my opinion.
Sure.
But, I want him to run with it.
Good.
So those are just some things that we would disagree upon. And I pretty much have I have a team of people who can help to support me in my argument sometimes.
Good, you have backup.
Exactly.
Which you need, ammunition, for sure.
Totally.
So if there was one thing or a piece of advice that you could give a married couple that's thinking about working together or has started working together and maybe is going through some hardship, what would you say?
I think recognize what each other is good at. And the things that you're not so good at, let the other person take over for you.
Smart.
You can't do it all. And especially being a parent too.
Yeah.
So you have to let each other, really with the good qualities, that's where you should shine. And the other qualities, see if you could get support or if you could cover each other. Amazing. Yeah.
Okay. And then one last question that I ask every single guest. If you weren't doing what you're doing, if you weren't in fashion, what would you be doing?
What would only be in fashion?
No,
there's nothing
you
else
have to
answer.
If you could not be in fashion for some reason, you were not allowed. What would you be doing? What would your profession be, or what would you be doing?
I think I would be like you. I'd be selling real estate, but I would need to get educated. I also do love interiors, but again, I'm not creative, so I need help with it all. But I'm a fashion girl. I am a total fashion girl. Originally from Florida, but I love the energy in New York, and we're definitely here to stay because It's just what I know and what I live and breathe.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Alex.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel and follow me on social media at Ronnie Calra.